God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I make a motion that we approve the minutes. I will second.
Any discussion? On favor?
Aye.
Next up, authorization of payment bills. Whatever that's.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the payment of the bills, F and G, TNA and A vouchers.
You don't have to read the
Do the amounts?
check numbers and the.
Okay.
That's why I put on the specs.
Yeah, F and G funds vouchers number 151 through 159 for a total of $110,215.87. A fund vouchers number 451 to 480, $49,259.01. TNA fund vouchers number 22 through 25 for $12,304.27.
I'll second that.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. And the treasurer's report. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion. Oh, go ahead, Kevin.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as written.
I'll second it.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right. Cemetery reports.
Jim has submitted a rough draft for the potential new cemetery garage. Next step would be for us to take that and get some quotes.
All right.
I'll make a motion that we accept the July 2023 monthly cemetery report.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. All right, codes.
I'll make a motion, we accept the codes report for. They're very complete, and it is.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Unanimous. All right. Dog control. Look at this.
Three of them, got one back home.
I'll make a motion that we accept the dog control report.
I'll second it.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, DPW.
I'm very happy to use their plow through my yard. So, very nice, thank you. Oh, he's gone.
He's gone, yeah.
And the grass. Fun one. Happily.
I'll reiterate what Phil put in here. A special thanks to the town of Homer, city of Cortland, town of Virgil, town of Preble, town of Scott, for their assistance during our paving projects. Without these local municipalities, our projects would not be possible. And I think this is a classic case of shared services, saving the taxpayers money, because we will later go and help these other communities as they do their projects. So that's outstanding. And Bill, thank you for putting that in.
I think further help, for sure.
I did have a question. So Phil, you've got the catch basin for the community building.
Yes,
they'll be
here in 2 weeks, actually.
The upgraded, we're looking at doing upgraded work at that area. Do we want to spend the money to put that in, or do we want to wait and see what we come out from the DRI?
Is it the same area?
Mhm.
I'd wait.
Well, the issue was they had water. on
Unless
the
it's a
community building
problem.
on That last bad storm or rain we had.
How much work do you think it's gonna take to fix it? 2 days, a week, month?
No, put that all in a day, no
I
problem.
would say a day is no big deal. And
Yeah, I could probably put it in.
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you.
it's not a major, I have to do it.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
All right. Got the dead pear tree, and I know this is but we are gonna be looking at replacing the trees on Main Street. The pear trees have reached their expected life extent, and we'll be looking at replacing them. Bill will get together and we'll come up with some replacements for that area, but just to give a heads up to our residents that at some point, and we'll give them more of a heads up, but those trees are coming down because they're done. Last thing I had on this one is still the historical marker at the corner of Albany at the Temperance Tavern.
Yeah.
They're gonna do a ceremony on August 10th. Can you put like a cover over it on like August 9th so they can do a grand reveal?
Oh, sure.
Good idea.
I make a motion that we accept the DPW report.
I'll second that, with thanks that Bill's guys did run their plow over my yard.
They said they were too busy. They'll get.
Well, they'll get them, I know. They threatened, no, they haven't.
All right, we got a second, any discussion? In favor?
Aye.
Okay.
On more inspections that we've seen lately, busy boot too.
He is, and it's a very comprehensive report.
Yeah, I like it.
Appreciate.
I'll make a motion that we accept the fire inspector's report.
One second.
And discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
I
Yeah, that's a good report right there.
like that.
All right. Police department.
Not in this one, but they had some fun activity, I guess, Sunday. I don't call that
I
fun.
don't know if I got it.
I didn't mean to say that.
Some excitement maybe.
And it definitely was.
Chief is attending an environmental conference,
Design, yeah,
environmental design conference, so I'm looking forward to hearing back from that because that will help us with our streetscapes
for sure.
for DRI. I wanted to highlight some things especially for our residents recruit officer Martin attended a one-day course in Harrisburg for female enforcers. Officer Smiley and Officer Brewster passed their FAA Part 107 exam for their drone license. Recruit Officer Foodie has completed Phase 2 Academy training at Cazenovia College. Officer Soderholm, I mispronounced that, I apologize, was promoted to the rank of sergeant, so that's going to help. The Dunkakop fundraiser at the Holiday Inn Homer raised $1,100, which was donated to the Cortland County Child Advocacy Center, with a special thanks to CNY Rental who donated the dunk tank for the fundraiser. Chief will be attending he attended the annual training conference in Albany this year. And Officer Brewster attended a digital investigation course in Albany. And I mention that because that's how we retain some of our officers, is by giving them these trainings, and it makes it better for our village overall. So the fact that they got all this training in, I think is great.
Absolutely.
I'll make a motion to accept the police report as written.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Huge.
Got a bunch of refund requests and 2 pavilion rental fee waivers. There's one listed. I don't know if the second one can be adjusted. We had person advocacy group rented minimum floor work yesterday, or we waived it. They got rained out. I'm looking to move it to the 21st.
No problem.
It's open.
Do we need a motion for that? Or just,
I think it's a reschedule, we already, but we would need a motion for the refund requests.
Zach, I had a question about the monthly report in the football section. It mentions that the football oversight board has been created. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so that's a group of mostly past coaches with large amount of years of experience who some of the same individuals that I've utilized for advice over the past years on how to continue to operate on football. I wouldn't say it's anything more than an advisory of somebody, people that I ask advice for, just like I've been doing for the past 6 odd years or so. So
What are the parameters of the oversight board, though? What do they do?
make suggestions to me.
And I guess I don't really understand where the board came from and how it works with the rec committee, especially since you're leaving next week.
Mhm.
So,
So it was kind of a on my way out kind of thing to make sure Homer football runs smoothly. Because it's kind of a beast of a program, it's a big program. So we met last week, Wednesday or Tuesday, something like that, and it's really about it. It's like I said, it's a group to keep marching forward the program in my absence, in the absence of any rec director. That's all.
How many people are?
5.
the board of trustees had to approve the members of the rec committee. Are the people who are on the oversight board being presented to the board of trustees?
Well,
Back kind of thing. Fine, I think.
Well, here,
Or-
I could do this, the legal structure for an organization, the board, and I'm just talking legal structure, whatever you want to do. The board of trustees would have to create it and then appoint everybody, and that's how the legal structure would be. So for it to have any authority, it would have to be created by the board, and then it'd be a committee, and then the committee would make recommendations to the board that would approve or not approve things, same as rec committee.
well, wouldn't this be subservient to the rec committee? Because football is a part of rec?
It could be.
it should be.
Yeah, why don't you, list the 5 people at our next meeting, we'll approve them and appoint them to the rec committee.
Well, no, Ed, you can't just do that, appoint that way. You actually have to come up with a whole structure to actually have it, like terms and all that, before you can appoint people.
If it's just an advisory board, we don't have to do that though.
I think that one of the concerns is that the advisory board is coming up with rules about coaches that conflict with the rules
Well,
that the rec
that's
committee already has.
a problem.
So I mean, if they're advisory, then all they're allowed to do is advise, and I would say that they fall under the rec committee. Rec committee would
They would
then,
provide advice to the rec committee.
Yeah, how this would go, what I understand is hearing, if there's a football advisory committee, not really a committee, it's like a group, that whatever recommendations they would have, I think Elizabeth is coming to this, those recommendations go to the rec committee that have been duly appointed by this board.
Right.
And then that rec committee would make whatever decisions subject if you need to make approval. That's how it would go.
Yeah,
So that ad hoc committee reports to the rec committee, and then
yeah.
Okay.
That would be fine, and it would work.
And then what happens usually after is the rec committee comes up to the board,
correct.
Right,
because it's a committee of it. Yep.
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
so
Did that-
anything,
Did that work for you?
Yeah, well,
And the guys and ladies or whoever it is?
it's
So-
your decision.
so
Okay,
anything that they have come up with needs to go to rec before implementation, then rec will bring it up to us.
All right, we do need a motion to accept the report and then a motion to do the refunds.
I'll make a motion to accept the report.
Second.
Discussion?
Chasing Neon is the one that got rescheduled, and that'll be on the 30th.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
And then for the refunds,
Do we need to do each one of these individually, or can we do the whole?
we can do them all together.
I didn't have any questions on any of these.
No, they're done.
And
Fine.
if it's all right with everybody, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the program refund requests for Levi Becker, Shelby Stauber, Grayson McGraw, Rachel Dubois, and Tracy Dugan as outlined on our slate.
Second.
Discussion.
And a total of
$350.
$350, yeah.
All in favor?
Thanks for the minute.
All right. Water and sewer, well, you guys have been busy.
Yeah, for our residents on Clinton Street, yes, they will get blacktopping on the rest of the services that were dug up.
I'll make the motion to accept the water and sewer report as written.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Privilege of the floor.
Can you
Oh,
hear me?
hold on, Fred, we got one in the audience that wants to go first.
Jay called me a half hour ago, along with come and just deliberate, thank everybody, because he didn't get a report on it. Been kind of busy. On behalf of the fire department, I want to thank everybody for the help with the New York State Convention and 150, especially with the village's help, Tanya, Bob Pittman, and all the board, the help it went really smooth. Except for, I won't say what the mayor said. So we did a good job, except for the front of the platform.
You guys can practice this you can practice it for that.
Well, it was pretty funny, because they were watching going, well, I know I'm not stepping on.
Oh.
And just I like to confirm that, well, I got a letter, I can use the Homer News page where I sent it to everybody. Who would I give that to?
You can give it to Tanya, but also just, you can probably submit it right to the Homer News and tell them.
Okay, just tell them it's,
Yeah.
okay, thank you, thank the village and for everything they've done. And look forward to seeing everybody next Saturday. Chickens be ready at 11.
All right, cook more chicken.
400 cash with dinner.
Good. All right, Fred,
Can you hear me?
we can.
Pat, I have a question for you. And,
Okay,
did you say that marker is the 10th?
yes,
Martin sent me a reminder that it's tomorrow morning, 9th, Wednesday the 9th.
yes, because we might have to cover it up tonight, Phil. Technology's great. I got the 10th at 10 o'clock.
Okay, then I'm gonna have to, because he sent me one, I don't know, I think it was Monday saying the reminder of the thing on Wednesday the 9th, so I'm gonna have to,
Well, I could be wrong. I may have heard, it's at 10 o'clock, so I may have put down the 10th at 10. How you
Okay, that's right.
Can I
it is-
speak real fast? I'm so sorry. I also got that email. It says tomorrow.
Okay. Bill, tomorrow morning before 10 o'clock,
Yeah,
can you cover the marker?
I will try. We're 418 near the pantry.
But I thought it was
I'll try.
It's gonna be sunny tomorrow. It's probably gonna rain Thursday, so tomorrow's probably a good day for unveiling.
okay, our highway superintendent finished all the CHIPS work, so that's behind us, and to add on to what Pat said, the highway crews have done an excellent job working together. Our new pickup with a plow on it came in July. the asbestos on the, where they've got to do the test on the basement before any construction will be done on a Friday later in the month of August. I told him I wanted Steve Major to do that on a day there wasn't any, many people there, so that's in the basement anyways, so he didn't think there was going to be any problems anyways. And I just I was at the celebration, the 150th anniversary. I didn't get a chance to speak, but one of the things I had in my very short prepared talk was to thank the village board. Certainly I, as supervisor and being someone in authority for a long time, understand the amount of time that your board has put into everything that's required to make a fire department function. So from that standpoint, I just wanted to say thanks. So that's all I got for a report.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Anybody else for privilege of the floor? Voice thrice.
We had a gentleman here. I thought he wanted to have a question on rec.
Yeah, you wanted to see if you can get on the waiting list or something. We told him to go with their office.
Maybe after he comes back, we'll ask him.
Yeah, he was sitting next to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he wanted to get on the list for football.
Well, we'll feel that.
We can come back.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. Okay. Old business DRI update. So moving along, we've got the list of projects that were submitted. 32 projects, not counting, or does this count the small project fund? I don't think it does.
But it totaled over, I think, 65 million. If I remember.
In
correctly.
requests or in total project costs?
In total project
That
cost,
sounds right. That sounds right.
and we've got to whittle that down. The LPC has to whittle that down.
Yeah, so those projects that's available.
Are they gonna list what the criteria is gonna be?
I have no idea what the
Well,
state and consultants do when it comes to
so
that.
basically, you're telling me that we just sit back and whatever they say, we accept, because, I got 9-7, so that's good for the community, but
Well,
basically, they're not listening to anybody, including you probably, at the meeting.
they're gonna, the most impactful stuff is gonna be what the community votes on, I think. I think that all things being equal, if you're talking apples to apples, and that means you have site control, you have funding, it's a viable project, it's in the area and it's transformative. If you've got two projects like that,
Oh, I agree with
they're
this.
gonna prioritize the one that the people vote for the most. If you've got a project that doesn't have one of those things, it's gonna have a hard time going up against.
I know I've been emailing you, but I got a feeling what we're talking, is we're talking probably the same thing, but we're thinking something different. Now, is the promenade, which I always thought was the river trail.
Mhm.
Is that in or is that out?
There's,
Parts of it are in, but
Okay,
Because
so it didn't get canceled then,
no,
because we only wanted a little piece, which is the promenade for.
the trail, well, I mean, we can only deal with anything that we have site control on.
I thought we did behind the firehouse
Yeah.
in Vernon Park. And I thought that's where the promenade was going.
That, yes,
I
that,
thought-
to my knowledge, is still there. That's
So we're good.
still.
So they didn't cancel anything because we didn't ask for anything else.
Yeah.
we,
Well, but they're putting the entire trail in as a priority
well,
project.
they did.
Well, it's not in as a priority project. They're listing it as a priority project, I think they called it, which gives us special consideration for other grant money that we apply for. They said it's looked at as like the highest accolade they can
So
give.
sending in that CFA that Dan and our interns and I turned in for 80K for the study, probably good on it for getting it.
Yeah, and they can't fund studies. And
Oh, I understand.
so that might
Yeah.
really help, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I didn't think we were needing a study for the promenade part, because that was part of my comments when I asked for the river trail study, was that it ties into the one we got in the DRI. So I was making all kinds of claims that I probably had my head at my butt. But I did have a colonoscopy and they told me it wasn't there. But anyhow, humor. Anyhow, okay, so the promenade is still there, which is I always thought was, if we can get that, then it's gonna be easier to tie in.
Tie the points together. And that's, yeah, that's kind
Yeah,
of.
okay, so like I say, there's just communications and probably just crossing.
Yeah.
Paths and that kind of stuff. Cause I did attach something where I found out that they gave $3 million to Troy for the river trail for them. And another $300,000 for public art and murals, not that we asked for that.
We did. We asked for public art.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. All right, I'd love to see a sculpture trail in the village.
And the mayor's correct, the priority projects will be listed in the strategic initiative document, that's what the consultants.
That'll come out. and they'll-
Come out, so that's what gives it high visibility for other grants and other funding sources.
Okay,
And we did put in for we broke out what was from the
The promenade.
The promenade.
Yeah.
So to give it more legs on its own.
yeah, because that gets people to come to the village as transformational in the village. Apartments are important and we need them, but that's not gonna make people from anywhere else want to
Yeah.
come to Homer.
We also have in the Water Street Bridge, because that's another touch point for the river trail. So we
Where are we gonna put that?
No, it's not moving it. It's,
the Water Street Bridge is the double lenticular. It's
How
already.
did it go?
No, that's the Water Street. That is the Wall Street Bridge.
The Wall Street Bridge, okay.
Not to be confused with water, even though they.
The Water Street's right out here, yeah.
project 8 on your sheet there.
Yeah.
You can read what it is.
So that's part of the pedestrian walkway. That'll be part of the river trail.
That's actually pretty good, because we own the half a mile just behind the housing authority. And when I look at the maps, I'm not sure that the housing authority goes down to the river. I don't know how much of that we can.
It does, but
you
part
could
of it.
actually own all that, so we have authority all the way to Water Street. That'd make a great initial part, but anyhow, moving on.
Yeah.
So, okay, so they've got criteria, they're gonna tell us, you mentioned some of it, but they're gonna publish it, so it's specific, so when people get the list later on and we get you get the vote, and
Well, the good thing is we had 350 responses from I think it was 350 responses from the online survey. 77% was from village residents, 23 from non-village residents. Percentage wise of the 77% that came from the village, 55% was from those that had lived in the village 10 years or longer. And then it was evenly split between village residents that had lived here just now to 5 years and 5 to 10. So we had a great turnout on responses.
are you gonna have to be recused from the DRI committee?
He's on.
I already,
Oh,
He
okay,
resigned.
let me go on the record with that, probably. When I was asked to come aboard by the mayor, what I did is I checked with the state. And I didn't last a meeting on the board because I resigned. So I resigned from the DRI board so that I could present the town. So that's how I.
was he replaced? Because if not, I'd like to nominate somebody who doesn't have a pony in any of this,
We're past the,
who's replacing him.
yeah, I
They're
mean,
not gonna replace him?
We were over,
we're halfway through.
well, we were also over size wise on the committee. We pushed to have a large.
All right, so they're not gonna replace him.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hurt us. Because we were large to begin with.
No, I don't, yeah, okay, I'm gonna nominate somebody.
All right.
We had, public,
Privilege of the floor,
privilege
yeah.
of the floor. Did you want to say anything?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
You got it all squared away? Your issue with the wait list?
No, I mean, I guess I would just, the one thing I would say was that I think it's important for youth sports and kids to play as many sports and whatever sports they want to play. And if there are issues with equipment or things like that, I think that's something that I'd like to work with, whoever I can work with here to solve that problem. So I think that's a easy fix. The harder fix is getting kids off the screens to go play sports, you know, and so if we got that, let's build on that. And, you know, we're talking about DRI and building Homer, like the youth is our future. At Paramount team, so that's my only comments. I'll work with anybody to help facilitate that.
We'll work with the rec committee and,
But
yeah, and there's the leader right
The
there.
next thing is skateboard discussion.
There's a question mark there, so there's not going to be one.
No.
Lori from Civil Service called me last week, saying her son wanted to discuss the code regarding skateboards and perhaps maybe other things. Obviously, they did not show up. So
Okay.
that's what that was for.
Yeah, we gotta get that skate park built, and that will hopefully solve that. Because I'd like to do that. All right, next up, discussion on recycling violations.
Here is, go ahead, sorry.
I read it. I'd like to approve their,
What?
I would too.
I support that.
Carry site.
Doing the motion.
City.
yes, but once.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Good, approve rec refunds we did. All right, we got a clean energy community grant of $5,000. So we got a list of different things, and I think we were gonna go with Christmas decorations for 281.
That's a great idea.
That, because that's
We need to beef up 281.
I know we're gonna have to bludgeon grid into letting us do it, but I'm confident we can do that.
What else is new? I do have,
We need light or power on each one of the poles then?
Well, we could go with LED stuff. It's just a matter of being able to hang stuff on poles.
When you use a battery, maybe with a something, LED batteries last pretty good.
Or solar or whatever.
Solar, yeah, something, yeah.
I do have a request that the beautification committee use a warmer tone
On those lights.
on those lights.
Sure.
The lights that they used here are the very bright white, and we have some, I received a few residents that said that they were too bright.
Too bright.
They're
Yeah.
pretty exciting when you see them. They
Yeah.
kind of really jumps. I like it.
But it
I
was,
like
it was a jump because our previous lights were the
Mhm.
warmer light. These jumped up to a very bright, so I think that threw some folks off, but I think if we went to a warmer tone, that would be nice,
If you can.
if we can.
Well, that's great.
Can I call the beautification committee together to actually pick these, because we need a quote to do the grant?
Sure. Kevin, you gonna be in on that?
I was just gonna say, don't forget to call me.
Yeah, Kevin's gotta be in on that.
Kevin will be on.
Alright.
They also have to bid on they have to do the RFP for, the flowers.
All right, yeah. All right, so can we have a motion to accept the $5,000 grant to put towards the beautification committee's budget for Christmas decorations for 281?
I would like to make that motion.
I will second it.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, so
Did we ever think about putting grass on some of those sidewalks?
I,
Grass.
you don't want to put grass on the side.
No.
I know what you're saying.
Just beside it there,
yeah.
because there's a lot of brown,
Yeah.
just dirt, the grass would actually make it look pretty.
I think we gotta do some.
I don't know if
streetscape
that's
stuff.
something we have to do or the state, that is a state road.
Yeah,
Can we
we'll
do
find
it,
out.
or should we
It's
do
a
it?
tough concept though, with plowing and everything, you just.
Yeah, but everybody else gets plowed and, the grass comes back and
So
these
it
guys fix it in the spring.
I agree with.
That would make 281, because it's pretty stark.
It is part of our comprehensive plan, but if we don't do grass, maybe if we do pavers. Just something
Something pretty,
something
Yeah.
prettier than asphalt
or dirt,
or dirt.
Yeah,
yeah.
if you could talk the state into that, that would be great.
He's got 18 yards of concrete.
All right.
He's not here right now, he's already. This
Next
back's
up.
hurting already.
Approved youth football accident insurance purchase. I think this to me is a no brainer.
Mhm.
Increases the cost per kid, but
So, I got the, camp extra after, and if you approve them, can you list out flag, tackle, camp, whichever ones you want approved?
The camp was different than the whole sport, quite so.
Yeah, camp's a non-contact, there's
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, it's like $2. The other ones are like 10.50 or something. Yeah, we're gonna,
Camp
Yes.
will be $231.77.
yes. Yeah, I think we should approve all.
I agree. I'll make a motion that we approve the insurance rates as stated in the document.
Discussion?
I'm just curious, what's the cost per child on the contact football?
13 to 15, 10, 20 a piece.
Tackle football and flag football for 12 and under is $465 per participant. Cheer 12 and under is $240 per participant. Where's the rest of it?
You asking.
Yeah.
Page one,
Figures.
it's 10, 20 for 13 to 15-year-olds and under 12, 460.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll eat the cost this year and then we'll let the rec committee decide if we have to adjust a little bit up next year to. All right. Where are we at?
Did we get a motion, did we get a, did we
I
vote?
don't think we did.
I don't think we voted, we got a second.
You made the motion, I thought
I thought it was second.
Elizabeth seconded.
In the
On
discussion.
to discussion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. No, I mean, we go. Approve the Homer Police Department cell phone purchase.
Cell phones, obviously.
Okay, that makes sense.
How we doing on the budget?
See whether.
Oh,
Our cell phones are a 2-year commitment, which is why it's coming to the board, because it's a contract for over a year. They need it for investigations. Bob's on, so he could more explain, but because it's a contract for over a year, because we would have to pay a penalty to leave, that's why it's here.
Yeah, I think this makes sense to me.
I think it makes sense. I just want to make sure we got budget money.
We probably do.
Chief, Tanya?
10 of them.
I think this one.
Yes, there is budget money. It was more of the commitment why it's here.
Okay. In that case,
They're only buying one phone? That doesn't mean,
They have others. This would be a phone exclusive to them, in addition to their other phones. So every camera we bought in that has a subscription is also budgeted to the police department, so they can watch it.
right. Well, I don't have a problem with $500 for the phone. I just thought maybe they needed like 10 of them.
It's $500 for the phone, then $40 a month for the next 2 years.
Understand?
So,
Yeah, that's, for an iPhone, that's pretty reasonable.
I make a motion that, we approve the department cell phone proposal for the iPhone and the 2 years of, contract.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Tandy, do we need to have the numbers on that?
No, we're just approving, you're just approving the 2-year contract, so.
Okay.
All right, next up, approve real property tax refund.
So the assessor made a mistake on this property, and this came from county when it was realized, and to do the refund, I just need approval.
I'll make. the
They built
motion.
in the wrong house at the rate.
We'll make I'll make the motion to refund the appraisal funds.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Next time, I would like some more supporting documentation.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Another sheet, another. All right, next up, approve Homer High School use of Kaleo Field.
The high school gives us a lot, and that's why they asked us, because their field is unavailable before the school starts.
Yep.
So it is not in conflict with our programs either. That's going to be doing a schedule that will go into that binder for the new rec director when hired.
Good.
Let's do it. I'll make the motion that we allow the school to use Kaleo Field. For 2 weeks, wow.
And hopefully they'll have their
They
fields
probably
ready
need it
when
longer
the
than that. That's okay.
school year.
All right, well, all in favor? Aye, I'm sorry. All right, next up. The Hooker Ave survey responses.
So this has been a while. If you remember, there was questions of if a stop sign should be put there. And as we've been short-staffed, we finally got to doing the responses, and these are the summaries of each of them. So then you could look at it if you want to either put a stop sign or not, or do something else. These are all the residents around Hooker Ave.
Are we gonna put sidewalks on Hooker Ave someday? Oh, no plan.
My knowledge.
No, there's no sidewalk going there, although some have asked, but sidewalks technically are the owner's responsibility unless we get a grant.
So, I don't think we have time to tally up the responses to get the yes versus no's. It seems like mostly in favor, but some not, so I don't.
Can I jump in here?
Nope.
I'll
Yeah.
sign off.
Of course, Chief.
I've talked to, the residents have been approaching me about the stop sign. Believing it starts with the police department to get it posted. The ones I talked with up there in favor of it, just in an effort to try to slow the traffic down on Hooker Ave.
Where would the stop sign go again?
Hooker and Sunset.
Or how it is, Sunset, right there.
I mean, I think it makes sense. I drive that road.
It will allow the people to get out onto Hooker Road easier too. And it would be a 4-way, right?
3-way.
Or 3-way, actually. It's a T.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people use that. They walk on it. There's no sidewalks as we just mentioned.
So it's another, it's a safety issue as well. Just try to slow people down. Coming from Main Street, you get the tracks as a natural speed bump. But coming from 281, it's a very smooth road.
I'll support a stop sign.
Can we table this to the next meeting? So,
You can add them up and everything.
yeah.
I agree.
It's speed limit,
Well, it's 30 right now.
8 to 15.
So,
All right, we're gonna table that till next meeting. All right. Next up, approve hanging the banner for child advocacy.
Make a motion that we approve hanging the banner on Main Street from September 4th through the 17th to support their upcoming fundraisers.
Second.
Hold on, but I may not go up on the 4th. That's Labor Day.
Okay. When do you
Earlier,
get to it?
May go up, but I'm not saying I have enough guys to do it that day.
Okay.
Just in
Gotcha.
case someone doesn't step on the 4th.
All right, next up, approve an additional check run.
I make a motion that we approve the additional check run.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. And finally, approving the sale of our old tasers, huh?
Yeah, don't you want?
Let me see if they work on the chief first.
Oh, boy, your house is definitely gonna get robbed.
Make a motion that we approve the sale of the tasers to the City of Portland Police Department as outlined by Chief Pittman's memorandum.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Joke. And I believe that brings us to the end.
Yeah, to leave.
Tran had to leave, okay, board member comments.
Well, I did it with the DRI. I'm just, I'm very happy and proud of the village getting 9.7 million. I know everybody's gonna get involved in it ultimately. It's a great thing for the village. We just gotta make sure best we can, that it comes out.
Yeah.
As the best, for the village as possible. So, thank everybody who's been involved.
We'll go right around the table here.
The only two things I have is the Brockway Truck Show on the 12th. Looking forward to that. And we have Magic on Main on August 18th. I would have shown a Brockway poster, but I didn't have one of those available, so I don't want to be,
No tickets for that one.
yeah.
Kyle's gonna be on your case now.
Well, he should have provided me a poster there,
All right, Kevin.
I have nothing to do.
Nothing further from me.
Okay, I've got nothing. How about questions from the media?
A few about the DRI update. Would I be able to get access to those 32 projects that were submitted?
Are they public? I think.
They're already on the village website.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can also have this. Scott, right?
That's a draft. I would say no, that's draft.
This is draft.
Copy.
Oh, okay.
I'll just go on the village website. They're all listed out, private, public, nonprofit, things like that. It's right on our website, DRI page. You'll see the drop down.
Left side banner, DRI, click on that. and
Cool.
What else?
And then, so the LPC would have to whittle down that number, is that what you're saying?
We don't really, well, and we sort of do, but what happens is we wind up giving we send more projects to the state than there's money for. And the state decides who gets the funding.
Gotcha, okay. And do you anticipate how many projects the state would look to approve? Is it double digits, single digits? Do you think it's depending on?
Up to $9.7 million worth.
Yeah.
It's classically been about a third for the village. 40% maybe for the private and 20 or 25% for nonprofits.
Well, look,
Classically across the other ones that have been.
the local planning committee does do diligent work with the state, with consultants in, basically sorting the projects and the criteria, seeing which more is viable, things like that. So that's where the whittling down comes to play. Then kind of a final set will help go to the state helps.
And which ones really transform the village for jobs, get visitors, increase business, you know, and make it a vibrant place to live and safe and streetscapes and that kind of stuff. So it has a lot of criteria that I keep asking about, but they'll all come out. It'll work out, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Margaret?
Just one quick question. The pear trees coming down on Main Street, when is that, when are you guys planning to have that done?
It's a next year thing.
Yeah.
If,
Okay.
we talk to our arborist and figure out exactly, what we're replacing them with and how. But yeah, that's a next year thing.
Okay, then that's all I've got. Thank you.
Our trees are a sensitive topic in the village, so we like to give enough heads up for,
Yeah, no surprise.
this, yeah.
It makes the village look good, those trees do, they really do.
You made it, Jeff, is there something
Or just what, if, for executive that's contracted in HR.
contract and HR, yep. Yep, we need to go in executive session per New York State Public Officers Law, Article 7, Section 105. For a contract matter and an HR matter. We have a motion,
I'll make a motion, we go into executive session.
second,
Second. The time is 6:51.
all in favor?
Morning.
1851.
1851.